Good morning. Welcome to Coffee with Connie. I'm Connie Foote with Foote Title Group, where we do home closings, and I want to talk to you today about who actually does your home closing and why does it matter that you understand that and you know who that is, and what the person that does that home closing goes through to make sure that they know what they're talking about, that they make sure that you're protected, and what all goes into doing that. So first, let me say hi, welcome. Thanks so much for taking your time and tuning in. If you are taking the time to tune in, please check in and say hi. I love to know who's on with me. That helps a whole lot when I'm trying to decide what to talk about and who I'm talking to. It makes a big difference on letting me know what those topics are. The other thing is, it really helps me a whole lot when not only when you say hi, but also when you ask questions. Let me know some things that maybe I touch on that spurs a question for you about something you do or don't understand. Or also, if you have questions about things that I'm not talking about, that helps a whole lot. Lets me know what you want to know about or what kind of things you don't understand. So thanks so much for tuning in, and please let me know that you're on and let me know any questions that you have. Good morning, Miss Jenny. Hope everything's going well. Good morning, Bridget from Greece. Thanks so much for tuning in. I don't know what time it is there, but I appreciate your time. Thanks so much. You're always so loyal and checking in, and I appreciate that a lot. So this morning I wanted to talk to you just for a few minutes about why it matters and what the person that does your home closing, the steps that they have to go through to be qualified to be able to do that. Because, you know, it may not seem like an important thing, but there's so many pieces that go into that, and making sure that that person, that professional that you're working with, is in fact licensed and has the knowledge and information that you need to make sure that you're taken care of. Good morning, Allison. Hope you're having a great morning. I know it's a little early there, but I appreciate you tuning in. So let's talk for just a few minutes about that, what a title company is, what the person that does your closing is, what those things are, so you know what that professional has to do in order to make sure that they know they have all the things in place to make sure that you're taken care of. So there's several things that go into this. A title company, we've talked about this a little bit before, but a title company does a lot of different things, but basically on a simple level, they search the title to make sure that the property that you're purchasing is in fact the property that you intended to purchase. The people that own the property have the right to sell it to you, and to make sure that anyone that they owe is taken care of and released from that ownership so that you are protected. The other thing, one of the other important things that we do is we handle all the money. So a title company takes all the money in, the money that you bring to closing, the money that you borrow, the money maybe that the seller may need to bring to closing. We take all of the money in like a bank, and then based on what things are owed, we pay out all the bills. We pay everybody and make sure everything's taken care of, so that's not a problem after closing. Good morning, Elizabeth. Thank you so much for tuning in. I know we did your closing, and I really appreciate that so much. We will, she just pointed out that we would go to Northern Virginia for the closing. We are licensed in Maryland and Virginia, and basically we will go in most of those areas throughout both of those states to do those closings. We don't only do closings in our offices. Actually, more often than not, we do them outside the office. So thanks for pointing that out, and thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it very much. I know you're a busy lady between the children and your very busy business, so thanks for your time. All right, so let's talk a little bit more about the company. So we've talked about first, title company, one of the most important things that they do is they search the title to make sure that the property that you're purchasing is in fact what you expect to purchase, that the people that are selling it to you actually own it, and that all of the people that own it are actually signing off on that. And then we also make sure all the money is handled properly. So we take in all of the money and make sure all of the bills are paid. The seller's loan, any certifications that were done, anything that you may need to be paid for, the lender's fees, all of the costs involved in that. We take in all of that money. We have separate special accounts for each closing that we have to pay that money out. It's very protected funds, and so we have a big duty there to take care of all of those funds. And in some states, the company who does the title part of it and the company who does the money part of it are two different places. And California is one of those states. But Maryland and Virginia, the title company handles all of that, which are two very important tasks that we take care of. And the third thing we do is, and probably the most important, is protect your home ownership. And we've talked about that a little bit in the past, but I want to touch on it for a minute today. Protecting your home ownership means that, we do that title search, but we make sure that all of those things are cleared and are taken care of. And then we make sure that you have an insurance policy that ensures that you won't have any problems after closing. And that's what we talk about when we mean protecting your home ownership. And we'll do a whole another series on title insurance and what that means and all the things that go into it. We've touched on it a little bit in the past, but one of the reasons that I really try to tell you how important it is for you to choose who does your home closing is because those three tasks, there's a lot of other things we do, but those three tasks are extremely important, and you take a lot of time making sure that you find the right house and you find the right mortgage. You also want to make sure that the home that you're buying, that you and that home are protected so that your ownership there's not a problem with that. So a title company does those things. So let's talk about not only the title company and their role, but the individual closers. So a lot of companies have many different closers that are licensed there. And in order to do a home closing, you have to actually be licensed in the state that you're doing those closings. So in order to get licensed, it can't just happen. You have to actually go. In some states, they have different rules in different states. In some states, you have to have a certain amount of experience in that industry, in the title industry, to be even able to sit for the class, to be able to get your license. In some states, you can just sit for a class and learn all of the information and then take a test, and if you pass the test, then you can get licensed. But in most states that I'm aware of, you actually have to have some experience in the industry. And even if you don't have to have the experience in the industry, the other thing is we actually are appointed, once we get a license. Well, let me go back to the beginning. So you have to have experience, 3 to 5 years of experience in the industry, understanding what all the processes are. Because as you can see, there's a lot of different things that go into making sure that all of the pieces come together properly for you when you come to closing. So the title's all clear. We have to review the contract and make sure that the person that's intending to sell it and intending to buy it are all of the people that are supposed to be involved, that the property is the right property. You'd be surprised some of those kind of things that come up. So we have to learn all of those things and make sure all that's taken care of. Dealing with the money is a big process, and there's a lot of pieces that go into that too. Good morning, Bill. Thanks for tuning in. Good to see you on. Hope you're having a great morning on Tuesday, this great Tuesday morning, nice and warm here in Maryland. So, okay, so there's so many things that you have to learn before you can actually even sit for that class, so you even understand some of the steps, the nuances, and the things that go into it. So, like I said, most states require that you have quite a bit of experience before you can actually sit for the class. So then most states actually have a class that you sit and take over a several-day period that you learn a lot of the specific details that maybe you may not have experienced as you're learning about the business and the industry. There may be some details that are much more specific that you would need to know in order to pass the licensing test. And that's true in a lot of different industries, in the property and casualty insurance industry, or the life insurance industry, or the health insurance industry. A lot of those licensing, the real estate industry, mortgage industry, there's a lot of details that you may not experience on a day-to-day experience that you would need to know in order to sit for that license and take that test. So good morning, Miss Nikki. Hope you're doing well. It was great to see you last week. Hopefully you're doing great and getting ready for your experiences that I know you're getting ready to take on. So proud of you. So, okay, so once you have some of that experience and then you take the class that you need to take to get all those details, those minute details that you need to know in order to sit for the licensing test, you actually, in most states, you actually go to the insurance bureau, the insurance commissioner's office. They, in most cases, will give that licensing test, and you probably have to go to that organization typically the government organization. In Virginia, it's the Bureau of Insurance. In Maryland, it's the Maryland Insurance Administration, and they regulate the licensing. And so in most cases, they actually give the class, give the test, and then you actually sit for the test. And if you pass the test, then they give you a license. So in order to actually be the person that sits at the table and coordinates the home closing for you, that person must be licensed to be able to do that home closing for you. Good morning, Kim. How are you? Good to see you on. Thanks for tuning in. So that person has to actually be licensed. And one of the things I try to talk about, and some of the information we have out there right now in our social media graphics that we've been putting out that are just some blurbs about it, is you would be surprised how many people are sitting at that closing that don't have a license. And that's against the law. And so I point this out because, there's so many things that we have to do when we're buying a house, and we don't even understand all these nuances, and we don't understand all the pieces that go into it. And I know one of the parts of all of this that people understand least is the title company's role. And so I bring these things up because I want you to understand how important it is to make sure you understand what the title company brings to the table, and that their closers are licensed, they know what they're doing. The other thing about being licensed to be to be a home closer, it's officially called a title insurance producer. The thing about that is we have to actually take classes to stay up, keep our licenses up. So even though we go through all of that to get the license, we actually have to take classes to make sure that we understand and keep up with all of the new regulations, all of the new rules, all of the new changes that happen, to make sure. And typically, in most cases, if you're working for a company, a title company, the closer is working for a title company that, is good about making sure that everybody understands what's going on. That most of those things that we're taught in class are, brought up throughout the year within the agency, but not in all cases. So there's a lot of different ways we can take classes and get information. The Insurance Administration sometimes will put out classes. The local associations, our Maryland Land Title Association, our Virginia Land Title Association, most of the associations will actually offer classes. The other thing that I wanted to talk to you about for a minute. Good morning, Miss Kathy. Hope you had a great time in Florida. It looked beautiful, even though you were on the other side of Matthew in a different place. I'm really happy to see that you had no problem. It looked beautiful there. Good morning, Pete. Hope you're having a great morning. Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. So the other thing that I wanted to point out to you guys is not only is that person who's sitting at the table with you must be licensed to do that closing in that state, but the other thing is in order for them to write that title insurance policy and do that closing, they have to be appointed by an insurance company. Now that sounds a bunch of confusing. So let me break it down on a simple level for you. Hey there, thanks for tuning in and being part of this. I really appreciate it. So let me break this down. Title insurance is, as far as being appointed, is no different than a homeowner's insurance or a life insurance. So a person who physically goes through the exercise with you of making sure that all of the information that they need to give you an insurance policy, whether it's life insurance, health insurance, car insurance, house insurance, all that person who's gathering all that information and who signs that policy is not only licensed in the state where they're doing it, but the other thing that they are appointed by that insurance company that they're writing that policy for. So that's kind of important because it's similar in the real estate industry, a real estate agent cannot work and write a contract for you and help you with finding that property if their license isn't hanging with a particular broker. So insurance is in order to be able to write an insurance policy, that insurance company that we're writing for has to appoint us in that state. So even though we're licensed, we also have to be appointed with that insurance company in that particular state. Now, I know that sounds like a bunch of crap and a bunch of stuff to remember, and I don't want you to remember all that stuff. What I do want you to remember is we have to be licensed to do what we do, so you need to make sure that person that's doing your closing is licensed. They have to be, and in order to get that license, they have to be appointed by that insurance carrier. They can't get their license and be approved to be able to do closings without that appointment as well. So there's a lot of things that go into, and it sounds like a whole lot of mess, and I don't want you to remember all that mess, but what I do want you to remember is that make sure, we've talked about this before, and it's not me preaching as Connie, the title company person, it's me preaching as I want you as a homeowner to make sure that you understand what you're getting into and make sure that the professionals you work with are in fact professionals and they know what they're doing and that you're protected. Because at the end of the day, my passion is making sure homeowners are protected and they know what they're doing. And unfortunately, the gray area in buying a home and all of the whole real estate process is the title company process. So what I want you to make sure that you understand is that you're asking the questions and that you know what answers you should be getting. And if you don't know or you're not sure, of course we can always be a resource for you, as your real estate professional and your mortgage professional are. Those people are people that you trust and you respect to make sure that they're finding you the right home. The mortgage professional, you're giving them all of your financial information, you're exposing all of your financials, so hopefully it's somebody you really respect and trust, and they should help you work with a closing company that is licensed and has licensed professionals working for them. Because not only do I, as the title insurance producer, have to be licensed, so does my company, and a lot of people don't understand that as well. So what I want you guys to understand is make sure that the people that you're working with have your best interest and in order, and that they're licensed to do what they're supposed to be doing, and that they have the experience. Because there's so many pieces that go into the title company side of that puzzle, and if they don't have the experience to deal with all the different things that could happen, then you're not going to be protected. And if they don't have the right licenses in place, you're not going to be offered the title insurance that will protect your home ownership. So hopefully that gave you a little bit of information today on what that closer is supposed to do and what they bring to the table. As I have said to you several times, you do have the right to choose, and I want you to make sure that you have all of the resources you need to make that choice properly. A couple of things I wanted to touch on. Any information that you might want, hopefully, is on our website. We have lots of resources. We have a home buyer's guide, a home seller's guide, a planning your move checklist, a buying a home checklist, flow chart checklist. We also have homeowners association information for all of the associations that we've come in contact with in Maryland and Virginia. I'm not going to tell you it's a complete list of everything that's in both states, because I rely on you to help me with that, and we update it all the time. If you find out one of them isn't accurately on there, then let me know, let somebody on our team know, and we will make sure that that's updated. The other thing we have on our website, which I'm really, really passionate about, is you are sitting at a home closing and you have all these documents coming at you and all this conversation's going on, all these people are there telling you all different things. You're trying to get information from the seller about the house that you're buying, and you want to know some of those things. And the last thing that you have time for is to read every single one of those documents. So one thing that we try to provide is it's a booklet of sample documents at the in advance. It's on our website to give you the opportunity to review what some of those documents you're going to be signing might look like. And it's not exactly what you're going to be signing. They are pretty close to most of them, and they don't have your particular loan or home information inserted. But the boilerplate of most of them, it's about 50 of the most common documents you're going to see at closing. They are on our website. You are welcome to go open that, download it, save it, read it, call, email us, ask any questions that you have. So that is on there. And if there's some resources that you've seen or you think that might help you, please let me know. We would love to add them to our website. And we have something really new coming probably within the next 2 weeks on our website that we are absolutely thrilled and excited about, that are going to really help you understand and figure out what some of the costs would be for home closing too. And that is coming soon, hopefully by the beginning of next week. The last thing I want to leave you with is I am super excited about the fact we just opened up the registration for our webinar that we're going to be doing on November 15th. We decided to do it at 7 p.m. at night because we realize that you have lives and you have things going on, and you have sometimes little people that you got to get all set, dinner on the table, homework working. So we wanted to do it at 7 o'clock at night. And it's the 5 most important things you need to know for your home closing. It's going to be on November 15th at 7 p.m. Registration is online. We emailed it out yesterday. It is on our website and it is in our social media. If you friend me or Foote Title Group, you will see it. You just click the register button. You need to get registered. There's only 100 spots, so we need to get you registered as soon as possible. And gosh, it's going to be so cool because it's going to be an interactive webinar where not just I'm talking, but everybody's talking to each other and asking questions and helping each other out. And I can't wait for that. Good morning, Miss Carla. Good morning, Jack. Hope you're doing well. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys. So hopefully you guys can get registered for that. The other thing I want to ask you is if you would please take the time to share this video and any other videos you see. We've got all kinds of stuff on our YouTube page to help you understand the steps and processes and things that go into your home closing. And hopefully we've helped you with some information this morning. If you have any questions for me or any of our team, we have team members in Maryland and in Virginia that can help you with any questions that you might have. And we are happy to help you in any way that we can. So you can email us, you can go on our website and you can message us from there. You can message me through here. Ask me any questions that you have, because sometimes I don't know what information I'm not getting to you that maybe you'd like to know about. So I'd love to help you. I am super passionate about making sure you understand the process. It's simple for you, and your home closing is, or your home is protected after closing. So hopefully you guys have an awesome day. Please share. And I look forward to talking to you again soon. Have a great day. And thanks so much for tuning in. Bye-bye.